But let's go to our top story this morning. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is in Rwanda for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting.
He's expected to hold talks with Prince Charles today, the first time the two have met following the Prince of Wales' private comments, calling the government's Rwanda migrant plan appalling.
That's reportedly, anyway. The Prime Minister is expected to use the summit to promote the economic benefits of the Commonwealth. And joining us now to discuss this further is Bowkett, political reporter for Reaction. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is the purpose of this meeting that takes place every 2 years?
So the purpose of the Heads of Commonwealth meeting is for the 54 heads of government to come together to express their shared goals of prosperity, democracy and peace. And whenever it happens, there's always different priorities that's come about. So for this year, the big focus is around food security caused by the war in Ukraine, as well as climate change. And because the Commonwealth has such a plethora of diversity with many of these countries coming from impoverished nations in Africa, that's going to be quite a big focus. Trade as well is going to be on the agenda, especially for the UK. The Commonwealth contributes 9% of trade, and especially, as Bev just said in her monologue there about post-Brexit Britain having to strike out trade deals is going to be massive, and the Commonwealth seen as an amplifier of that. And then the other will be the pandemic, of course, and around vaccine inequalities. So lots of the agenda during the next few days.
And it's coincidental, isn't it, that this is happening in Rwanda off the back of, obviously, the government's asylum seeker plan to house migrants there. What do you think? How do you think that will change the dynamic? We, of course, know Prince Charles has reportedly said the Rwanda plan is appalling. Boris Johnson, this will be the first time he's meeting Prince Charles since those supposed comments. How do you think that will shape things?
The relationship between the UK and Rwanda is really interesting. Rwanda isn't actually, or was a member, part of the British Empire. It joined the Commonwealth in 2009. And Boris Johnson seems to have quite a close relationship with their leader, Paul Kagame. And I think on the side of Rwanda and on Kigali, that they're looking to kind of showcase, how it's developed since the 1994 genocide and to kind of debunk any reports about its human rights abuses and Prince Charles's comments about the Rwanda scheme being appalling. But of course, this meeting between Boris Johnson and the Prince of Wales is going to grab all the headlines. It seems that if and when Rwanda, the specific policy to send asylum seekers to the country, we can expect number 10 to defend it vigorously, to say how it's going to end the horrid trade, people smuggling trade, how it's going to deter migrants from crossing the channel dangerously. And I think it's important to stress that the two do have agreements, especially on the issue of global warming. But given how outspoken Charles is, and kind of shows about what it's going to be like when he does become our new, king, our new head of state, it'll be really interesting to see if any briefings come out of that particular meeting.
OK, thank you very much, Bill, there.